All right, so it's here. I ordered a new Fei Bao F-15 from Mike at Global Jet. He's been great to work with. I ordered back in July. It got here today. It's the day before Thanksgiving. Order went really well. It was good working with Mike. The shipping was a little odd once it hit the United States, but that's out of his hands. I actually went and picked this up because it was just easier than waiting on them to find a truck to get down my street. So I'm going to do an unboxing for you of what you get when you order a Fei Bao F-15 at least, and show you what I got. So, comes in a cardboard box. It's a big box. There's really no damage. There's some scuffs, which that's going to happen anytime you ship something. But there's no holes, no forklift holes. I inspected it really good just to make sure. There's just a little bit of the top edge. So, and fragile. Must be French. I don't know. If you're old enough, you'll get that joke. So give me a second and I'll start cutting this open and show you what we got. So it starts off with the box. There's on your ends. It did tell me the correct model, so you know you're getting the right thing. It called for the Camo F-15, which is what I ordered. So I've cut the top off. Let's see what we got. A big old chunk of wood. Is this a wooden crate or is it just a lid? Okay, it's just a lid. We'll flip this off. So everything's wrapped in foam. Lots of tape. Looks like some kind of formers or rails, I'm sure. I myself, I did order the single version. I have a Swiwin 300 that's going in it. So everything's packed pretty well in bubble tape. I'll start unwrapping stuff. All right, so the first piece I grabbed was the nose section. Plastic wrap. I did opt for some light weathering, which I see. It's good. I don't see any damage. No marks. Paint looks good. I also opted for the operating canopy. Everything looks good here. Okay. We're going to dig a little deeper into this box. So I'm going to probably grab these wings over here next. So the first one I've got right here is going to be the right wing. That's protected really well. Like I said, it's got light weathering on it. Actually looks really good. The paint looks great. I was worried that it would be more white, but it's more on the gray side on the light, so looks great. So there's the right wing. Okay. All right, and opening up the left wing. That's it really well. Same thing, paintwork looks good. Lines are good, the weathering looks good. Servo hatches are flush, fit good. You can see carbon fiber reinforcement. I can actually see it in the wing as well. So I've had one of these before and I really loved it. This is already pre-hinged like the other one was. Another thing I see that I like, I see the holes for the rails for the ordnance, which I have ordnance from the previous one. So they'll be going on this. So this wing, just like the right one, looks really, really good. All right, moving on to the vertical stabs. Mine is an aggressor version. For my scale jets, I've never been able to get past the camouflage. I just love the way camo looks. I'll never get off of it. I love it. Paint looks good. Got your carbon, your alignment here, your main carbon spar. A lot like the first one I had. Just the one I had was an older version. Paint and the lettering looks good. So happy with that. There's the other side. So same quality, same paint work. Servo hatch fits flush. You know, they're already hinged, which takes some work off of you on these. Looks really good. I like it. The only thing I'm not seeing right now is the lighting, and I ordered lighting, so we'll see. Okay. Digging further into the box, there's a lot more stuff, so let me get some of these smaller parts out of here. See some other lines, some valves, fittings, quick connects, which are great. Those are kind of like the Pro Link quick connects. Some Allen wrenches. I see retract valves in there. Again, I won't use those. I use the BVM stuff. But comprehensive kit, I mean, everything you need in there. I think I see the hardware. Yeah, so the linkages, which is ball ends, control rods, they're all in this bag. So it's a bag of hardware and your air system accessories. All right, so here's your inlet assembly. Basically, this straddles the two intakes and feeds the engine back to the turbine. It's actually a really solid piece. My other one was more flimsy. This one's actually more firm. Like I said, here's the inlet. Not a big fan of all of the, I guess that's where they seamed it. The finish work's not that great. It's nothing I can't fix. I'll probably just sand and paint it. Even if you stick it up on the top, you'll probably be able to see it, but maybe not. We'll have a look at it when I get it together. But like I said, it's a sturdy piece. It's not flimsy. My other one was flimsy. More parts to go. And when you hear me referring to my other one, I'm not sure about the camera work, but this was the one I had before. This was an older one. It was the E model. Fantastic plane, but I flamed out behind a tree line and couldn't get back. And it damaged it well enough that it needed to be replaced, which is what this one's going to do. So back to the pile. Moving on to the stabs. The newer ones I believe are supposed to be direct drive. Assuming that's where the actuator would go. The last video I seen of one of the newer ones, it was direct drive. My old one was not. So there's the stabs. Paint looks good. They're nice and dark. Looks like the left one does have damage. You can see where it's not just paint, it's actually gouged. It's in the composite. This was wrapped in bubble wrap, so this left the factory that way. This didn't happen during shipping. It was sandwiched between other pieces. This left the factory this way. I can fix it. I'll wick some thin CA in it, and then I'll just do the best I can to match the paint. I mean, it's nothing I can't handle, but like I said, it left that way. So this is a whole lot just like the other one was. Same stabs. Paintwork looks good with the exception of that big gouge. The paintwork all looks good. Where they put on some of the nomenclature, you can see the sheen of the overlay from the dry transfer. It's not even a transfer actually, it's like a decal. Not the biggest fan of that, but I'll probably weather this thing some more and maybe hide some of that and scuff it up, we'll see. But it looks good. Moving on, got my exhaust cones. These look great. Very detailed, very sturdy pieces. These look great. So moving on, digging down further in the box, we're getting to the big parts. There's some fuel tanks in the main fuselage. So let me get the tanks out of here. All right, so moving on to the tanks, I can tell you right now, these are definitely different than what I have in my previous version. They're different size. They look a little smaller actually. They're good tanks, composite. They've got metal bungs in them. Not where you just, yeah, I mean, I know you've all seen the fiberglass tanks where you just throw a rubber stopper in them. At least these have good ports in them. I can tell you these are definitely different than the previous version. I'll get to the main one. The main one used to be a problem in the first series. This one looks a little smaller, so things have definitely changed on this newer version. The guys that had them before could tell you that the front tank was so heavy that it caused a really nose-heavy condition and could affect your takeoffs. So I actually had a smaller one in there. We'll see, compared to capacity, how this compares to the old one. But same thing, nice composite tank, good metal port. I'll put my own vents and stuff in it, but it's a good starting point. It's a nice tank. Moving on, this little bag just has your two rear elevator servo covers. Underneath on the bottom side, there's a hatch where your elevator servos go. These just cover that. Up next, looks like it's going to be the last piece. Don't hear nothing rattling around in there. So it's just, this is the main portion of the fuselage without the nose. So I'll cut this open and show you what I'm seeing. I can tell you one thing I'm seeing right now that I don't like is I ordered the lights. I ordered a light kit and I'm not seeing lights on anything. I haven't seen any lights anywhere. Maybe they're buried in that bag of hardware, but normally when you order the light option, the lights are already installed, and it is not on this model. Okay? So, here she is coming out. The main fuselage. Okay, cardboard. All the gear doors are on and lined up good, which is great. I already had a set of gear, so I didn't get the gear option. Of course, you know, you'll have to check and make sure that, well, I got one gear door that won't open. That'll be something I have to fix. Maybe they have it taped inside. Well, I don't want to pull on it. We'll have to see what's going on with that. And looking again, I also got the speed brake option on this one. So there's 4 spring latches on this one, as there were my last one. These 2 are locked up. I don't know if they're painted closed. Something else I have to fix. This one won't close. This one won't close. Not sure. If they push hard enough, whatever they're stuck on, I can get. Hold on a second. Pause. Pin's loose on the hatches with a little assistance. So we'll pull it off. So there is nothing in it. Like I said, the only thing I'm seeing that's really an issue is I ordered the lights and I don't have the lights. I don't see lights installed. I don't see them in a package. This particular setup looks like it's running for a twin, but I'm noticing these formers aren't glued in. They just slide in, which makes me believe that, I'm assuming this plane is actually universal, because it came with another set of formers. So I wonder if all the main formers are the same on the twin and the single, and then you just set up your rails and such, whether you're going to run the single or the twin, is what I'm guessing. I'll ask Mike about that. But I see the radio trays up there, and I'm betting these formers are for running a single, because the twin formers, they just slide out. They're not glued in, which is good because I'm not running the twin. So I think that's what it's going to be. I did opt for the speed brake. They give you an air cylinder. I'll be taking that out and using a linear servo. They're better, and you can control your speed. But it fits really good. There's a small blemish right there in the paint. Luckily for me, I'm not too hopped up on the few minor paint things, simply because this is a camo airplane. So I can get away with a lot more than, say, a gloss finish or a show finish. My buddy's getting the bicentennial scheme. That would probably show more. But the camo, it's just what I like, the flat look. So let me turn this around. So this is the main part of it. Paint lines look okay. There's a little rough spot right there with the paint line. It's not perfect, but again, it's camo, so it looks good. Try to keep it on the foam so I don't mess it up. Gear doors fit, and they're flush. Get that open. Okay. That air cylinder was really tight. This one too. And going through this before, I can already tell you, you better remove every one of these cylinders and pressure test them and make sure they don't leak. Every brand I've had, even my Skymaster, I had bad door cylinders. It's not worth taking a chance of fighting an air leak. So, the doors fit good. They're really tight. They did make a change. I noticed my other one, these doors opened as well. This one, they simplified it. They're just running with 2 doors. So that's good. The weathering looks good. I don't see any damage on the main fuselage. Just that the only real paint damage I seen was on the back of that one elevator. Like I said, that's an easy fix. One of the things I see that's different with this compared to the old one is a lot of the wood they're using, the ply, has carbon overlay on it, to where the one I had before did not. So we'll see how it goes together. Okay. So here's a quick run of her, just kind of pushed together. Paint lines from the fuselage to the wing line up good. Just kind of got the elevator sitting there. There's nothing to hold them in. I am happy with it. Some of the pictures showed this color showing up as almost white, and I was really hoping that wouldn't be the case, and that's not the case. This is actually more of a lighter gray. It doesn't show that much in the camera, but in person it clearly does. So like I said, I got the options with the operating canopy and the speed brake. The only issue I see really is the lights that I ordered. There's no lights in this airplane. There's no lights in this package, actually. Not even a light kit to put in. And I'm pretty sure I ordered the lights. I'm like 100% sure I ordered the lights. So here she is. I said they're big airplanes. I know it's over 9 feet long. It's a big plane. Like I said, I loved my last one so much. I said if anything ever happened, I'd replace it immediately, and I did. And that's what this one is. So I'm very happy with the airplane. I think it's going to look killer at the field. Now I just got to get busy working on it. I'm not too sure what the difference is between the E model, which is the double, and the C model. Looking at my other one over here, the canopy hole looks about the same. That's another problem I see. I ordered a cockpit kit. I don't see a cockpit kit anywhere yet. So I need to go over my order very carefully to make sure that what I ordered, but I know I ordered the cockpit assembly and there's not one in here. So I'm missing lights, missing the cockpit for sure. And I'll have to figure out, I think the twin and the single are the same. So, because I've got multiple formers here. Luckily I have an old one here that I can look at and just kind of mimic, because there's no instructions in here, but really if you're building jets, you shouldn't need instructions. You should just need the CG. That's the only information that I really need.